So, this video is about Julia, Total Drama Season 2 reboot, and a little bit of Season 1. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't really care for Julia in Season 1. I liked how she was eliminated in that, and, just didn't mind her that much. But then in Season 2, my hatred started to rise, and I have some bias now I'm gonna talk about later on. But I didn't like her. Because, okay, so for one, she cheated basically the majority of the game. And it's stupid saying this, but I liked MK way more than her, even though she also cheated, but MK was at least, more funny, at least a little bit more entertaining, at least in her lines. But Julia, she just felt like whitewashed Heather. And then there's the Mkulia ship. I didn't really care much for this ship because, well, okay, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think it was gonna happen at all. But yeah, by the end of MK's elimination, they share a hug, and then that's it. No shipping has to happen. Because, when two characters interact, they don't have to date. But yeah, you have all that out of the way, and then you have Julia's gameplay. She has the mouse syndrome. And what I mean by mouse syndrome, basically, if you watch Total Drama All-Stars, aka the worst season, well, that and Pockettail Island, by most viewers, I don't really think it's that bad. But if you watched it, Mao, or Mike, was the main villain of the season, but everybody around him was just dumbed down, didn't see through him, especially Zoe, even though she's kind of glued to Mike. But yeah, so with that said, Mao kind of just got to the finale. From episode 6 all the way up to episode 13 or 12. I don't know how many episodes are in season 5, but I'm gonna guess one of those two. But yeah, and he's also regarded as probably the worst villain. Him or Sugar. I mean, Sugar's not really a bad villain, so I wouldn't really understand why people say that. But Mal, yeah, I guess I would see why, but I still liked him. And then you get to Julia. Now, one of the big reasons I don't like Julia, I already explained the two of them, it's because she has major plot armor, and also, she has no weaknesses. Every Total Drama villain has at least one weakness. I want you to think about one Total Drama villain that has a weak... Courtney. It's Courtney. Okay, yeah, you could argue there's a few other villains that have weaknesses, but I was talking about Courtney because she's kind of the most obvious. Basically, one of Courtney's, faults or weaknesses is her plans not working. Since Courtney is a really smart villain in a CIT, whatever that means, and she always thinks her plans are prepared, like, knowing when her next breakfast is 1 year later from that day. I mean, that's not really a villainous showing of, when she's having her breakfast, but it shows that she's smart and she knows, what she's doing. But when her plans don't work, that kind of diminishes her. So in Total Drama Action, when she tries to have alliance with Beth, Beth sees right through it. And, well, Beth just plays with her, and then they never make an alliance. So, that happens. Then her and Owen are soonly eliminated. Now what does this have to do with Julia? Well, she doesn't have any weaknesses. That's why I don't like her. And, well, the other reasons I just said. And plus, she had way too much plot armor. Well, at least after episode 9. So for one, in the dog chase episode, I'm not really sure what the names are, so I'm gonna make up names. I'm gonna try and have you figure out what episode I'm talking about. But when the dogs chase the contestants, she uses her fingernails to slow down the dragging. Okay, no. That's not even how it works. Cause, no. If the dogs, actually no. For one, they both really could've just let go. Only their foots were caught on the dog's teeth. They could've just took their shoe off and ran away. But Julia and Priya didn't do that. But Julia used her, in quotations, her cat-like fingernails to just claw at the ground, and then she wins immunity. That doesn't make any sense. And then you have the eliminate contestants matching squares. After Caleb and Priya make up again for the third time this season, Julia kind of decides to play with them. basically, well, actually, no, not even Julia. It was kind of the other way around. But basically, Caleb rams into Julia. She drops her tablet. Priya picks it up, or Caleb, and they click the right button. But apparently, Priya or Caleb, one of them, picked up Julia's tablet on accident. So then Julia wins on a fluke. That's just luck. Oh yeah, and we're not done with the episode yet, cause you wanna know who's eliminated? Damien. I don't know why they eliminated Damien. Okay, so if you watched the season earlier, Damien was the one to find the immunity idol, and he hit it 4 times a day, each day at camp. Meaning, no one could really find it. Even he couldn't even find it at some points. But basically, at that episode, the exact episode he's eliminated, Julia apparently finds it, and then he's eliminated. I find it to be an unfair elimination because, well, for one, he hit it 4 times each day, and that day Julia just happens to find it when he needs to use it. It doesn't make any sense. Matter of fact, the way he got out of the game, or the challenge at least, bees took him away. That's not you know that doesn't happen. You know bees can't just fly you away. But yeah, I didn't like it. And then you get the fear challenge. I'm not really sure you call this one. Okay, in this elimination, you could kind of see it coming. I mean, okay, to be honest, you could definitely see it coming from the last episode. But in this challenge, the contestants have to hook each other to these fear chambers. I'm not really sure you call them. But basically, long story short, Priya is eliminated by Julia. Because apparently, Julia got voted out the most. But then Julia reveals the totem she stole from Damien. And then, Priya's eliminated. I mean, Priya wasn't going to win anyway. So, it was expected for her to be eliminated. But I just found the elimination to be a little bit weird. Or it was just done weirdly. And it made me hate Julia even more. So, yeah. And then there's MK's elimination. I didn't explain this one, but it didn't make much sense to me when I was watching it. Basically, MK decides to badmouth Julia, I guess, or say bad stuff about her, helping her to get eliminated. You know, helping that Julia gets eliminated. I might have explained it weirdly. And then yeah, MK's elimination, that didn't make much sense to me. Basically, contestants say you can't badmouth people, I guess, or they agree to that. Even though I'm pretty sure Julia badmouths people all the time, but they vote MK for it, and then, yeah, I didn't really like her elimination, but her and Julia hugging, I mean, it was a good send-off, I guess, so I guess I was fine with it. And putting that together, it was only really 2 people Julia eliminated, but she still had a bunch of plot armor from the immunity she got in the winning, and the cheating, I guess, if you want to count that. So, yeah, those are basic reasons of why I don't like Julia at all in Total Drama. Actually, her, Millie, and Scary Girl are at the bottom of my list for favorite characters. I mean, Julia's at the bottom, and then Millie's also at the bottom too, because she's really bland. And then Scary Girl's like neutralist, but still sort of at the bottom. I don't know, she was just kind of gimmicky.